Hey there everyone, welcome to another Kings Road video. This one's just a short one today, and it's more of an announcement than anything else, and an apology. So, I recently said that they had fixed the power scaling in events. Fixed as in, it's still there, but it's not as harsh, it's not as excessive, it doesn't go up quite as much as it did before. Now, it's really hard to test this without really looking at the exact numbers of what damage I'm taking, and I plan it all out and everything. It takes hours to test, so I did it mainly on the way it felt from one event to another, and it was really hard to actually do that because events do change in difficulty from one to another. So I wrongly said that they'd fixed it. They actually still haven't. So it is kind of what I told them. They're looking into it. They plan to fix it. I don't know when exactly it's going to happen, but hopefully it'll happen soon. I'm sorry that I announced that it had changed. With regards to resistances, I want them to lower those, specifically for Elite. I actually saw some information a while back of my own notes, and it turns out they've actually got the same resistances that they did a long time ago, like years ago, a couple of years ago at least. And so these resistances haven't changed, so in order to reach the maximum crit damage, if you have the current stuff, and then 300 promotion, that's when you reach it. Now, personally, I would prefer them if they would reduce that to like 200 promotion or something like that. But anyway, I'm going to talk it over with them and try to influence it to lower that a bit too, so we have more kind of consistent damage between us when we're playing an event. Now, with that said, what we have in the background here is me doing the current event with an archer. So I saw a thread on the forum, and that's what's inspired me to make this video, is someone was complaining saying this event is just, it's really hard when you're high power, and especially for Archer. So this is me using Archer with a very extreme version of it. I have max wings and max promotion and no jewels. I have all the sort of current Fable stuff, so my power is over 300,000, but the stats are a lot lower than they should be. Armor, not so much especially. I mean, you get a lot of armor from jewels and stuff, but mainly my damage output is terrible. And it's trying to show how, in the most extreme scenarios, how you play this with Archer. Now, it is very, very tough. So this clip is of me doing it, and then after this, I'm now going to go through the clip properly and commentate on exactly what I'm doing to try and get through this. It's a lot harder than a lot of events for Archer, but it is possible. So we start off in town just showing that it's Elite before we go in. Now, to start this off, it's best to go around the back of the boss. For the main reason that the enemies spawn at the start of the map and they've got to run over there, so it takes them longer to get to you. Now, what makes this really challenging, what was killing me most of all were two attacks. The attacks from the boss, the locusts from the boss, and these balls that fly from those. A few of them are invisible. I don't know if it's just me or whether it's sometimes like that, but basically you've got to avoid those, and when it says locusts, you've got to run around. So what I'm doing here, what I'm about to start doing here, is grouping all the enemies together in one place, and I run whenever there are shadow towers and whenever there are locusts. And all the other times I focus on grouping the enemies together, so you can see they're on the right. I'm getting them all on the right. There's locusts, I'm continuing to run. Okay, now I can start attacking, set up a decoy, start attacking. And when the enemies close in, it doesn't matter too much. I just put down a decoy, move to the side, and we keep going. I put silence on them from time to time when they're in a group. Okay, the shadow towers are here. I've got to keep running, dodge all those. It looks really chaotic, but it's not actually too scary as long as you dodge these attacks. From what I found, dodge those attacks, silence the enemies, keep putting out decoys. You can do it. So again, grouping the enemies on the right, I'm moving over to the left. Start attacking the boss here, put down another decoy because you need them up. Towers have appeared, so I've got to run. This isn't as fast as I was able to do it a few times, but this particular run I thought was good for showing exactly how to control the enemies. So here I've got a bit of an opening. There's locusts, so I just had to do a bit of a wiggle before attacking further. And I'm just trying to keep all the enemies up. This guy right next to me, he's a bit annoying. He doesn't get silenced and doesn't get feared. Sorry, not silenced, just feared in general. So anyway, locusts here, got to run. You really got to watch out for when the locusts happen. And now I can attack and get some more damage on the boss. So the small enemies you don't have to worry about too much, as long as you're fearing them quite frequently, and the decoys should control them a bit. By grouping them like this as well, makes it a lot easier. I just dodged that Shadow Ball. I almost didn't, almost ran straight into it. So I come around here, the boss is nearly dead, so I just attack. I actually didn't notice it said the locusts, so I died there, but that was the run. Decided to keep it, because I think that shows best out of the runs which I recorded. I did about 20 or so. And it's very challenging. You have to move around a lot, which is not normal for Archer, but it is possible to do. So I had 330,000 power, and you can see my elemental stats were 175%, which may sound like a lot, but that is the minimum you can have with max promotion. So you can see here I've got max wings, and then I go over and show max promotion. It's probably the most extreme example, and it was the most challenging that I could get from testing different power levels and stuff. So anyway, this run that we're going to show now, this was one which I did a few runs back from the last one, and I fail on this. I fail from, I think it's the locusts, I don't notice, but this particular run I play, it's a little faster, I think. Well, I'm trying to remember exactly, but anyway, we'll see. So I got a similar kind of start. Put down, I didn't put down the decoy, the ballista this time. I was changing technique over time. So dodging those Shadow Balls, and then I put the decoy down, because otherwise the decoy just gets killed by the Shadow Balls. And you can see I put the Dark Mist down, made those enemies next to me just run away instantly. So they're not an issue. Dark Mist blanks a lot of enemies like that. And then I feared the enemies just as they were going past the boss. So all those are controlled, and then I dodged the Shadow Balls. So here you can see I'm controlling them. It's a lot more smooth here at the beginning. I don't have to run quite so much. I'm just out of range of those locusts. It's good if you can put the decoy behind the boss, because then it will put the locusts the other way rather than at you. Now here I'm right next to a tower. It is possible to tank one ball from a tower, I find, especially if you've got Dark Mist on. And anyway, I move around to start attacking the boss. So as you can see, being able to do a lot of damage a lot faster this time. It just was generally a lot smoother. The other run showed me running around a lot because it kept happening that I needed to group the enemies, or there was the Shadow Balls going on, or the boss used the locusts. But here is an idea of how it can go a lot smoother. And then unfortunately I ran into the locusts, didn't spot them. But anyway, I hope you found this informative, and otherwise the footage interesting to watch. It's definitely Archer being played in a complicated way. Anyway, that's it from me. I'll see you in another video soon.